Welcome, everyone. I'm Tracy Fitzpatrick, and I'll be your moderator today. Thank you so much for joining us here at Netcom Learning, a market leader in promoting lifelong learning, training, and talent development solutions. We are very excited to host today's event. Is your business ready for multimodal AI? Presenting today's topic, Ronald Clanton. Ronald is a cybersecurity consultant and trainer with extensive experience in delivering training and guidance across ethical hacking, penetration testing, and AI-driven cyber defense. Through his firm, U.S. Computer Support, he provides practical, hands-on learning to help professionals strengthen their security posture and stay ahead of emerging cyber threats. With extensive experience in high-stakes tech environments, Ronald helps organizations build resilient defense systems and trains IT professionals to tackle emerging AI-driven cybersecurity threats. Please bear in mind that this is an overview of a very robust topic. We offer a collection of technical and business courses that can be tailored to your specific requirements. If you are interested in a further discussion, you can make an appointment with our learning consultants through our website at netcomlearning.com. Today's session is also being recorded, so you'll get free access to the recording in the next 24 hours via email. Netcom Learning helps customers build innovative learning organizations by achieving a smarter workforce, adapting to change, and driving growth. We do this with a broad catalog of offerings, developing customized learning plans, and our global delivery capabilities. Since 1998, we have been empowering organizations with our managed learning services to help them reach optimal performance results and address challenges. We do have 9 practice areas in which we specialize. They encompass people, process, and technology training. Today's presentation is from the Data and AI practice area. Netcom Learning offers a comprehensive training portfolio of courses for the topic being covered today. Our upcoming classes include various trainings on the given courses. You can also access a variety of marketing assets, such as the free training and blogs, by clicking on the available event handout. These offerings can be found with a simple search on our website at netcomlearning.com. This session is designed to give business leaders, IT teams, and innovative professionals a practical understanding of how multimodal AI is reshaping digital transformation. As AI evolves beyond text to understand and process images, audio, video, and data simultaneously, organizations need to prepare for a new wave of intelligent automation and decision-making. Today, you'll explore real-world applications, emerging capabilities, and actionable strategies to help your business adopt multimodal AI responsibly and effectively. Learn how leading companies are using these technologies to improve customer service, streamline workflows, enhance security, and drive productivity at scale. Now, I would like to give you a quick overview of the logistics before we get started. To begin with, you do have the option to view in full screen by clicking on the full screen button on the right side of the GoToWebinar viewer. Simply hit the escape key to exit the full screen. Everyone has been muted except for our presenters. Feel free to submit any questions you have for the presenters here in the questions pane, and we will address them at the end of the session. And to get the best out of today's events, we've included the slides, courses we talk about, and marketing assets in the handouts section of your GoToWebinar viewer. You may refer to them at any time to get a better understanding of today's topic. And we do realize that some of you may have to leave early and want to let you know that as you do leave the session today, you will be presented with a short survey. We would like to request for you to take a quick moment to participate in that survey. Your feedback really helps us understand your learning experience and improve our future sessions for you. The survey answers are measured on a scale of 1 to 5, 5 representing outstanding and 1 representing poor. And now I'd like to pass this over to our trainer to present today's topic. Hey, Ronald, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Tracy. Thank you so much. My name is Ronald Clanton. I'm a senior technical trainer in Netcom Learning. I've been training for about a decade. I hold several certifications and a few college degrees, actually. I run an IT business using AI. The things that I've learned through Netcom Learning has helped my business and also to integrate with artificial intelligence to assist the clients that I have. Today, I'll be presenting a webinar called Is Your Business Ready for Multimodal AI? Again, multimodal AI, artificial intelligence, the center of how businesses run, and to be quite frank, how our personal lives are moving nowadays with all the different chatbots and different things that we're using. So, without further ado, let me get started. All right, and let's take a look at our agenda. What multimodal AI really means for enterprises, key adoption areas, customer support, of course, compliance and training, infrastructure and integration challenges to expect, case studies, practical wins from 2025 adopters, quick framework to assess your organization's readiness, and we'll end it with a Q&A. This is part of a two-part series that we'll be presenting. So we will get started. What multimodal AI really means for enterprises. So you have a unified intelligence. Multimodal AI processes text, images, audio, code, and sensor data together all at once. Multimodal represents a fundamental shift in how enterprises can interact with and extract value from their data. Unlike traditional AI systems that work with a single data type, multimodal AI can simultaneously process and understand the text, images, audio, video, and documents, mirroring how humans naturally perceive and process information. This is what our world works on and moves now. And those businesses that have adopted this are doing a lot better, and some businesses have failed to the wayside by not adapting this. The benefits are richer context for decision making. Your text, your images. Think of your marketing department able to provide those great graphics and the pictures, the audio, code, just to build a whole marketing team or a marketing product, I should say, with this tool, everything that multimodal will add for your organization. Higher accuracy from multiple input types, and faster automation, reduced human review. So now the human capital to that you utilize to go through, and so many people had to look at all the documentations, all the pictures and images and everything, and how to input that. You don't need that anymore. And the speed and accuracy of what you can put out and stay competitive with all the others in your business space, in your domain, to be able to make your organization move and be actually current with this day and age. Throughout the last couple of years, I've been working with different businesses, and some of the models or the way that they've been doing things were so antiquated that it was more just a complete overhaul when I introduced this multimodal AI to different businesses. Giving them all that they were missing became actually almost like a coming of age type of thing for them. Um, the for enterprises, this means breaking down the data silos and having traditionally required separate tools and workflows. The multimodal system can analyze a customer service call, audio, review attach screenshots, the images, cross reference product documentation. So now you have the PDFs that everyone uses, the PDF documents, and generate response text in a single unified workflow. Now, this consolidation dramatically reduces complexity and the operational overhead. So that is what multimodal will bring to your business and why we are emphasizing it and putting it together here with this webinar. It's something that you must take a hold of. Now you can contact netcom at www.netcomlearning.com or call 888-563-8266, or you email us at aisearch at netcomlearning.com. Let's look at the key adoption areas. Our customer service. So our AI-powered omni-channel support for voice, chat, email, and video. Do you remember the call centers where you had this a lot of people in there? You hear all this chatting and all these different things going on. Being able to make sure that you take care of your customers obviously is one of the key elements of all businesses. The customer support, the multimodal AI transforms support operations by enabling agents to handle complex queries involving screenshots, product images, and documents without switching between tools. Yes, that is just another amazing feature. The system can instantly analyze error messages and screenshots, interpret product photos from customers, and reference technical documentation to provide accurate solutions. This reduces their resolution time and improves the first contact resolution rates. The visual troubleshooting and image recognition, and the real time personalization and sentiment analysis that you would have available for the organization to move and be able to put all your stuff together. Compliance in the regulated industry, multimodal multi pardon me, multimodal AI can simultaneously review contracts. So now we're talking about the text again. Scan document images, audit trails. So the structured data and the video recordings of the transactions can all simultaneously be reviewed. And so in your when dealing with compliance and having everything go across and give you that more granular understanding and being able to make sure that you didn't miss anything, those second set of eyes are not really needed per se because this is doing all of that together. The comprehensive approach helps identify the compliance gaps that single multimodality systems might miss, while significantly reducing the manual effort required for audits and the reviews that you have to do. So we will look at a business that will, let's say that your business has a streamlined process, or you're a startup, or there's a merger, or whatever the case, this covers everything. Utilizing this and adopting this into your business and making it pretty much the foundation of your business is the way to go, and how you should conduct and move forward with your business in this day and age. Employee training becomes more efficient and scalable when AI can process training videos, access practical demonstrations, analyze written responses, and provide that personal feedback. The system can identify skill gaps by analyzing both what employees say and what they do, creating more nuanced and effective training. How often do we get people and what they present on paper as far as their skill set, and then you've hired them? Something I went through tragically last year in a way with a few, but they can't do what they state they can do. And so you have this tool that also analyzes that and puts that in place for you so that you can rapidly recognize that and be able to address it in real time. Knocking out these things are extremely important to make sure that your business isn't hemorrhaging money and especially time, which is our biggest asset, especially as a business. Key adoption areas again with the compliance, automated document classifications, and policy enforcement. Letting the team know, and as they come in, policies are inflexible. Having it automated to go through and at that end of the day just to take a look, or right when that is happening, it can stop and give you that alert that hey, you're falling under out of compliance, or that particular employee or process that you're doing is not going to work, and you can address it right away before any problems stem from that, or your legal department has to go nuclears per se to make sure that you stay within that compliance and all the legal liabilities are not falling apart and that you're risking anything. So many things in businesses just come to my mind right now. How they've had certain things. I remember an HVAC company that compliance would have fell apart without this. This is not just for say this tech company. This is business. This is to be utilized in business, and by providing this support and doing this work and helping companies to streamline, I can attest to it and not just come as a technical trainer and just giving you some data. I do this and provide this in real time and throughout the real world. Upcoming project at the end of this month. I have to make sure and go through a business and make sure they have this and adopt it in the in, in their areas where they definitely need it, and to have that as that base for the leadership of that business to be able to go and look at this, and then they can take it from there and be able to continue with their business and help with the continuity of being current and also growing their business. Voice text meeting compliance monitoring, making sure that what is said, recording, being able to access words and have uh, that review and that recording, making sure that you can take care of that and the interaction that it has, looking at it as just another person or part of the company, just as if you would hire the person to do this. You look at this service and this tool as a person. When I'm teaching artificial intelligence, I try to train people to think of AI as this person, not this distant tool per se, even though, of course, it is, but to make sure so you can run with everything that it has to offer in a seamless model. Make sure that there's no hesitations or anything that would stop the flow of all of the tools and everything that it has to offer for you. Audit ready evidence generation. Now, I know that has to sound really good to some of you that are listening to this right now. This being able to have it right then and there, um, going back on things and the old days of several pieces of paperwork, listening to recordings, going over other paperwork to make sure that everything was together. it was audit ready, the evidence that you have, being able to have that even to archive so that if there's ever a compliance audit itself, you have that data available and it's automated from the artificial intelligence to make sure that all of the things were covered in the pretext of making sure that everything that you wanted to cover has been checked off the box. Customer support, enhancing chatbots or virtual assistants to handle complex queries using text, voice, and visuals. There are a few companies that actually, I would say they bug me because they'll get the chatbot and just use it kind of straight out of the box. This tool needs to be make sure it's refined specifically for your business. Whatever customer support that you are providing, make sure that the chatbots are set, labeled, and be input the the data that needs to be covered. This is a great tool to help your customers. And one of the things that customers, I could say, hate is when talking or engaging with a chatbot, it doesn't have the information or the questions that pertain to all the things to your business. You just give it three or four things that they someone will ask for, and then the problem that they do have is not set and available. Your your job is to make sure that that chatbot is can fulfill things so that the human operators that you have don't have to be overwhelmed with calls. Make sure that you utilize this for your customer support because your customers are how you pay the bills. That's where your money comes from. That's how your company stands up. And you have this available with this key adoption. So your virtual assistants handle the complex queries using text, voice, or visual. Compliance using multimodal AI to monitor and ensure adherence to regulations through various data resources. Um, the customer support, again, I'll bring that up, transform support operations by engaging agents to handle the complex queries involving the screenshots, product images, and documents without switching through the tools. And so I've put that together. So the queries that you would have to be able to put that, the compliance, making sure that nothing is stated that is incorrect because you have that preset information there. The adherence to the different industries that you have to provide the information, the safety that comes with this. So, as I said, different companies that I work with, and one in particular, is to make sure that what is stated is correct and that it can, if there's any type of danger or liability to the customer, that has been addressed to make sure that provided all the information that they needed, where they needed to go, and also the financial um, touches to a few things. So someone maybe calling not just for to help, but there was problems with billing. There were overcharges, or they didn't get charged, or perhaps some service or product that they did order they didn't get. You have this tool available to provide all the adherence for that and to reinforce all the regulations that you need to make sure that you've taken care of. Now, they're training personalizing learning experiences with AI that understands and adapts to different content types. Technology always changes. So, another aspect, actually later today, I'll be utilizing this, and the AI stays with that. Some of the information or the technology has changes. So, to make sure that I provide that that new change into the system with utilizing this training will definitely help um, with the company and actually to be able to help with some of the curriculum. AI understands and adapts to the different content types. So mixing networking, how's your networking, your communications going? And you've we recently moved from Windows 10 to Windows 11 operating systems for Microsoft, right? So making sure that all the systems have that in there, and things that you did on Windows 10 you don't do that on Windows 11, and that Windows 10 data and some of the training has to be purged from the system to make sure that can move forward, making sure that they understand the BitLocker, the security that goes through the computers, the HSMs that will be used, that are hardware security modules, making sure that, and some of the places where compliance, the DoD, they have to make sure that there's the extra layers of security, and providing that training to let them know that it's not just the login that you'll be using, but you have to make sure this extra um, security goes into place. Now, remember, this is happening while they are still working. So this training has to be optimized, it has to be precise, make sure it covers. Nothing's worse than back in the day when some group or department received training and then everything that they needed for the training was not included. So they have to go do a second training session. Now the business is losing money because you're pulling people away. Well, this personalized learning experience makes sure that everyone has that. You have the chance to put everything together, have the AI that will understand and some of the different things that are available. For instance, the different types of AI that you can utilize. There are plenty of people who think that when they download an AI software, that is their end all, meet all. But the AIs are actually built and different. There are AIs that are, one AI particular is built more for education and the training. You have one for more general purpose. You have another AI that's pretty good with the generating the images that you want. And then there's another AI that comes to mind that the the videos that you would want to put together, you can have that work and in unison with everything. And as I will as I use, I'll have the videos to help illustrate what I'm trying to depict to the student or whoever I'm training, any of the business models, or that busy CEO that needs to know this but has to move on. And it's more or less, okay, this is a part of the compliance. This is what you need to know how to go forth with it. Their time is limited, making sure that they can get the training and that it's deep enough and covers the material enough to provide them everything that they need in that time, and so they can get the training, and later on that day they have enough of the knowledge from it to be able to present it, to work now with this new step that they have to do and provide, whether it's space, the understanding of space. Space is a business. Space is now this frontier where the average tech CEOs or something in different cities, they have to have an understanding of space to be able to help compete. If you're providing products or different things or subcontracting to a company that provides something that is you're like third in line or fourth in line, and they provide that, you still have to have that understanding of that space of space itself, and to make sure that okay, this is growing, this is the end project that needs to be completed and done. How do you move past this project to continue with government contracts to make sure that your business can meet that and that you can still stay in that domain. I'm so quick to say space, and I'm talking about actually space and being able to provide that adaptation to that. With a few companies that have come to mind, and two CEOs who I feel need to make sure they get the proper training for this so that they can continue with what they're doing. The customer support, as we emphasized, the multimodal AI transforms support operations by enabling agents to handle the complex queries involving the screenshots, product images, documents without switching between the tools. The system can instantly analyze error messages in the screenshots, interpret product photos from customers. We'll take a look at that. Interpret the product photos from customers and reference technical documentation to provide accurate solutions. This right here, there was a mechanic shop and they used a certain tool. I'm not going to say it's proprietary, that fixing, um, repairing a vehicle. So a friend contacted me, and this was the suggestion that I gave to them, and they utilized this in order to fix the vehicle and get it going. And going through this, actually, I think that providing this type of training to them would be good. And in the auto industry itself, I think that this would be a great tool to utilize where the customer could send a picture of something, and prior to them bringing that in, there could already be something set up. Now, obviously, when they bring it, there are going to be times, and a lot of times it'll be more than what the picture says or there, but this could eliminate a lot of the time that is used to provide support cleaning up or whatever, just the analyzing, troubleshooting. This will be able to help a lot, and you can see different things, especially with physical damage. The system can easily analyze error messages in the screenshots, product photos, customers reference technical documentation for to provide the accurate solution. Again, this reduces resolution time and improves first contact resolution rates. Different companies that provide different products and provide certain things. There's the Raspberry Pi, the computer system, the very small ones. Um, I provide those and sometimes make the custom cases for them, and making sure that the custom case that someone has ordered is precise with what they want and what they want to look, or maybe has their customer data on it. We can provide that. Now, here's something that can be utilized as they send an image and you want to construct something, you can look at certain things and see if you can make that or not. Years back, you used to make custom gaming computers for individuals, and this is a tool that you would be able to utilize to make that happen. And it's just so many use cases for this, making sure that we are using everything within our repertoire to give us the full scope of how we can grow our business. And our main thing is making money. This tool actually helps us in every aspect to make money, even in our personal lives, whether it be our finances and your financial advisor, your banker, going through checking your bank statements to make sure that everything was correct, miss things that are set that should have been done. Recently, I utilized this. I had a double payment for my auto insurance, and it was able to find that mistake, and then I could go through and like, hey, I've double paid for my premium, and there to go have that, go through and check that, and so that later on it didn't debit that again, even though I've already paid for it, and having that done in the system. Everything's moving so fast now. Having these tools as and in place is just a part of our life that we must have this in place for different things. I've had other personal arrangements that had to be taken care of, appointments that were set at the same time. Just so many things, and it's so a part of my life that I can just tell you, from whether I'm providing training, consultation, I'm building something, writing code, to looking at how I can make an ad better, a banner better, social media, some of the contacts that I've been presenting, things that are sent to me to take a look at or give my 2 cents about that. I utilize this, and it has been adopted into my everyday um, life, whether it's business or personal. And as time goes on, each day that we go on, it becomes more and more a part of our lives, and something that we have to make sure that we take into considerations. Yeah, and looking at some other aspects as I take a look at all the different businesses that I've used this for. I think about some of the legacy integration. Most enterprises have decades of, the single modality systems, and the multimodal capabilities often requires middleware layers, API standardization, and careful change management. Now, those of you who've taken, let's say, the those security certifications or any other things like that, um, the change management becomes something to make sure that you are carefully watching and how that goes and how it affects your business, and to avoid disrupting existing workflows utilizing this. Our data pipeline complexities. Enterprises must architect pipelines that can handle diverse data formats with different processing requirements. The images and videos compute uh, demand more compute resources than text, requiring careful um, capacity planning and potentially hybrid cloud approaches. And the cost management. Multi-module processing is computationally expensive. Token costs for image and document processing are higher than text. Of course, texts are smaller. Data only operations requiring sophisticated monitoring and optimization strategies to prevent budget overflows. With this, you can have a precise look and have a set standard to be within the parameters of your budget utilizing these tools. Now, different data modules have different security requirements. The video footage may contain PII, personally identifiable information. Documents may include confidential business data, and images might reveal sensitive operational details. Unified security frameworks must address all these concerns simultaneously. You can have that information in there to be able to identify and have the tool to look for all of that in there. There was an advertisement where it had someone's or some of the business information in there by mistake. Having this tool, and well, if they would have had this tool several years ago, it would have saved them a lot of headache and some of the cyber problems that they encountered because of this. making sure that you have all of that set up together. And you take a look at some of the case studies, right? We have different companies, or you have the ability to look up and see how companies have been able to save by utilizing this. The compliance regulated industries, multi-module AI can simultaneously review your contracts. Has anyone on this webinar had the opportunity to go through some of your government contracts, or just contracts in general that are set multiple pages of different contracts, scan documents, the images, the audit trails, the structured data, and the video recordings of transactions? Thinking about this from a compliance standpoint should give you just the opportunity to take a deep breath and know that you have this partner right there with you. The comprehensive approach helps identify compliance gaps that single modality systems might miss, while significantly reducing the manual effort required for audits and reviews in this. And remember, this is real time. So this also works with all the different departments that may be utilized to do one concerted effort. And you have this, instead of having to do it by department, person by person, you can do this all in real time and make sure that you keep your regulations together, the compliance that stays set, and adhering to not just the federal compliance, state compliance. What about the county compliance, which certain businesses have missed out? They're doing their work, but in this county, this doesn't. You can't do this, and having that adoption to make sure that they were in the best place, and instead, they had to move their operations to another place. Another company had to just get a subcontractor to do this work. You wouldn't have that, because you'd have the necessary intelligence to make sure that you could move in the right framework, the right way, to make sure everything was working, and that you didn't get anything that sidelined you or that you didn't have any information for. We look at from the financial businesses to healthcare providers, manufacturing. You look at a major bank implemented multi-module AI for fraud detection, analyzing transaction patterns, structured data, checking the images, the vision, customer service calls, audio, and account documentation documents. They achieved a 40% improvement in fraud detection rates while reducing false positives by 25%, demonstrating how combining multi-modularities creates more accurate risk models than any single data type alone. Now let's get into the health care. How much compliance is in the healthcare? A hospital network deployed multi-module AI to analyze medical images, patient records, clinical notes, and diagnostic equipment audio signals. The system flagged inconsistencies between radiological images and clinical documentation, improving diagnostic accuracy and reducing the average time to diagnose by 30%. These are the things that save lives. These are the things that um, keep families together. These are the things that help with preventative health issues in a business, in someone's life, to help with the continuity and keep things flowing. And let's take a dive into the manufacturing company. An automotive manufacturer used multimodal AI to process assembly line video feeds, quality inspection photos, IoT sensor data, and maintenance logs. By correlating visual defects and with operation parameters, they reduced defect rates by 35%. and predicted equipment failures with an 85% accuracy. Now, you have that. Think about the amount of money that they just saved and the amount of work and time. But let's also take a look at the materials that are utilized to make these vehicles and how much they were able to save with that. That is something also to keep in mind. Just these things, and there's so many ways to look at this. Again, the training, employee training becomes more effective and scalable when AI can process training videos, access practical demonstrations, analyze written responses, and provide personalized feedback. So the training definitely will change. I mentioned earlier how we no longer use Windows 10, we go to Windows 11. But in some businesses, they have been adopting the Linux operating system, which is a lot of people haven't even heard of. There are easier operating systems like the Linux Mint, for instance, where I've had a couple of people in the organization who not tech savvy whatsoever, but to utilize that to give them a more centralized point of what they need to do, giving them that training. So I could have sat down, went through this and that, and instead I utilized AI to make sure to address the learning curve. And one of the things with AI, what I did was to take those practical aspects that are in Windows operating system that are similar in that Linux Mint system, so that they can have something to work with association while they were learning how to use that operating system. And the AI was able to give them that, and they've been using that for over a year now. The system can identify the skill gaps by analyzing both what employees say and what they do. As I indicated and I stated earlier, that right there, monitoring of employees have become more of a survival mechanism now, and making sure what they can and cannot do. So the creating a nuanced and effective training program. So you've now found out that this employee has a deficiency with some of the work that they're doing. You can provide that training. They don't have to go anywhere. From there, okay, we've allocated that you have 45 minutes of training that you will do. So here's the headsets, put this on, you can go and learn how to do this and all the steps. There's a checkpoints per as they go through the tiers of the learning and the practical that they would have to do, the performance based questions that they would have to pass on the training, and then be able to move forward with that. Also, to be able to utilize that for reinforced training. Some people get to working on a job for a long time, used to doing something. Even though they trained on it, it doesn't happen that much. And then there was a mistake, you can get retraining on this to be able to make sure that they are still there to make sure that they can do that part. For instance, this we're coming up on the holiday season. Certain things have to be changed up and done, and if it's something that's a group of people or a single person does just once a year, there can be that trying to remember, or you may have them do that training prior to going to that the this new season, or that perhaps this particular client that you provide a service or a product for, even though they do that, you can give them that training each time. So before we start this, yes, every year you're going to go through this training, and then you're going to go and do this. That may need to be implemented and made policy. Infrastructure and integration challenges, GPU, and AI accelerator requirements. So making sure that you have the proper hardware to make sure that you can run everything that you need. And GPUs, it makes me laugh because for all these several years that they have been the most popular thing around now. The GPU, your graphics processing unit, making sure that your renderings can work and provide all the AI accelerated requirements that you have needs to be accessed, and having that person in your business to look at that, or whether or not you are using some type of provider to give you that, all still needs to be taken have take a look at it. There would be nothing worse than having all this in place but not having the proper hardware or everything set to be able to work or use it to the best of its ability. Data integration plus unification across silos, which is great. This is one of the things that a lot of people actually love because this stops that this department doesn't know what this department doesn't is doing, and there's products or services that are not able to be provided because this department didn't know and they're lagging behind because of this, or there's some information or changes. No, with this you have the unification across the different silos, and let's be real, it, it doesn't matter what type of business you have. Once you have separate departments, there are human relationships that are put together and people work together. Silos are built, and this AI has been helping to make sure that the business does do what it needs to do regardless of that, and that there are any issues that it can take a look at and pick up on it and to fix it in a expeditious timeline to get what you need done. You have security, governance, model risk management. Now, the API level workflow integration. Your business is doing what it needs to do every day. Everything is going, the workflow is going right across the board. You're looking, you're able to check it at any time and to see everything and how it works, what's working, how every nuance, every integral part is moving in your business. Ensuring data compatibility across different modalities. We have different systems, different softwares that everyone's going to use. So what do? We just stop, wait for this to be done, and then bring it on? No, we don't have to do any of that. Um, when speaking about this, this is really surprising to a lot of people in business that you can work with all this software and have your business connect with it and run straight through and have everything run in a robust manner, and also just be able to have that ease of worry from that. Building robust models can handle diverse data types. Very, very important. I think that some of you that are listening to this, if you didn't know this since the first time that you're hearing this would be something to make you change how you do business just right away from when this webinar ends, to go and to look at this and to also get training for your team to make sure that they know this. So this could make this would probably change so many businesses, just the knowledge of that. And I've heard certain people that haven't adopted this because the fear of something that they are working with not being able to integrate it into their business, but integrating with existing enterprise systems. This does this for you. So this is a great tool to make sure that you are using and utilizing from there. Case studies, practical wins from 2025 adopters. Retail, 40% reduction in ticket volume using voice plus AI support. Healthcare, automated multimodal compliance, reduce audit times by 60%. Look at these numbers, people. Look at these numbers. Manufacturing, visual defect detection improved output quality by 30%. And finance, multi-module detection reduced false positives by 45%. Data availability and quality across modalities, existing AI infrastructure, and integration capabilities. The integration capabilities should be enough itself to make sure that you are using this and that you have received the training. And make sure that you understand the training varies. There can be the introductory training, as I spoke earlier about a CEO or some of those in upper management. You, as every person in business, needs to have training in AI, whether it's just the understanding the AI for everyone, or whether you need to get into more of the integral parts of it, from engineering to ethical hacking to whatever is needed that you can get from AI search to learn and make sure that you're there. Don't try to catch up when the rest of the industry will have already done this and they know it, and you're trying to run behind them to catch up and to understand this. This is here, this is now, and it's not going anywhere. They're just going to take over more and more of business. Staff skills for managing and leveraging multimodal um, multimodal AI. Take a look. Quick framework to access readiness, making sure all of our stuff is together. So we have our quick readiness uh, access framework, data maturity. So let's take a look at if you're ready. Do you have a centralized access for multiple data types? Do you have that ready now? Is your data labeled and organized? Something to learn about by getting this together. You have data all over the place. You don't know what's what data is not needed anymore. What data are you missing? And then the data that puts together, having your stuff organized. Can you identify high value use cases that require multiple modalities? Here we have our number one, and score it 1 through 5. Let's go to number two, our technical infrastructure. Again, score 1 to 5. Do you have sufficient compute resources or cloud budget? Are your APIs and data pipelines modality agnostic? Do you have ML, machine learning engineering expertise on staff? Is there anybody in there that knows what they're doing, or just has an idea or any training that they received? This is this should be a standard in all companies. Organizational readiness, score 1 to 5. Does leadership understand the multi-module AI value proposition? Are teams prepared for workflow changes? Extremely big, extremely big. You've got everything together, but the team isn't ready. How are you going to even move forward? Do you have budget and policies covering all modalities? Do you? I'm just looking, and so many businesses are coming into mind. Um, as I've asked certain people to make sure they look and go through this webinar to have their expansion as their business, and to make sure they get the training and everything that they need. Can you audit AI decisions across different data types? Are privacy and security frameworks comprehensive? Now let's look at our scoring model. We got 16 through 20 points ready to pilot. We got 12 to 15, build foundations first. 8 to 11, focus on data maturity. If you're below 8, start with single modality AI. You have to have this, you have to do this, and you have to make sure that you're following suit with all of this. You just have to. This is here now, and there are so many businesses that just the adoption of this right here would actually help retain jobs, would help mergers, would help with a lot of the continuity of different things and work, and to help us move forward. Can multimodal AI redefine productivity in 2026? Well, absolutely, absolutely. And so we have upcoming webinar and December 18th that you definitely need to take a look at. This is the end of the year. Different things are changing. I know businesses that are shutting down for 2 weeks in December to integrate and train their whole staff on AI in different aspects, from the basics to certain things to the staff at the front desk, everything going through there, the security at one company, everyone's going and having that set up. Don't be behind with what you have to do and what you know that you need to do. So I would want to thank you for attending this. And organizations scoring high on readiness should start with contain pilots in one of the key adoption areas, ensuring they can measure their ROI clearly. Those still building foundations should focus on data unification and governance frameworks before attempting the multi-module deployments. The technology is mature enough for production use, but success depends more on organizational readiness than technical capability. Again, my name is Ronald Clanton. I'm a senior technical instructor. I'm providing for AI and other domains, but let's make sure that we have our AI set and ready. And thank you for attending. We'll be starting the Q&A session.
Thank you, Ronald. That was very informative. And I know everyone's looking forward to the Q&A session, so go ahead and start putting your questions in the questions panel. And while you're doing that, I'd like to pass the presentation rights over to Neha Kumari, our product marketing manager, who's going to introduce you to our wonderful and amazing promotions and webinar related courses.
Hello, welcome and thank you. I hope you've all received the event handout, which is a great resource to guide you through today's session. We truly appreciate you taking the time to join us for this masterclass. Whether you are in healthcare, finance, marketing, or any other sector, AI driven data solutions are transforming the way businesses unlock value, streamline operations, and drive innovation. We pride ourselves on delivering AI cert trainings through our network of 3,300 plus certified instructors, all active experts in their fields. At Netcom, we've been empowering businesses worldwide since 1998 with cutting edge solutions that accelerate organizational growth and innovation. Our headquarters are located in the heart of New York City, and we are proud to offer worldwide delivery capabilities to support our global clients. Inside the handout you've received, there's a link to access the session recording for today's masterclass. This gives you the chance to revisit the material or dive deeper into any concepts you'd like further clarification on. Now, let's take a look at some of the latest AI Cert courses available. They are divided by roles to help you choose the right path based on your career needs. I encourage you to click on the hyperlinks in the handout to explore the official course documentation and gain a deeper understanding of each offering. It's important to note that all our courses are taught by subject matter experts. Additionally, you'll enjoy perks like 180 days of access to virtual labs, 90 days of class recordings, and access to the Netcom 365 portal. You'll even have the option to repeat classes for free within a specific period if you miss a session or wish to review a topic. We've also included a few additional resources in the handout, including upcoming free events and insightful blogs. I highly recommend exploring these to broaden your understanding of our offerings and how they can help you and your organization achieve your learning and business goals. We have exciting upcoming schedules that you won't miss out. Here are some of them. These specialized programs will help you harness the power of AI for different roles and industries, ensuring you stay ahead in today's competitive landscape. We've also included a few additional resources in the handout, including upcoming free events and insightful blogs. I highly recommend exploring these to broaden your understanding of our offerings and how they can help you achieve your learning and business goals. These specialized programs will help you harness the power of AI for different roles and industries, ensuring you stay ahead in today's competitive landscape. As a part of your journey, we also recommend exploring these valuable marketing assets to further enhance your AI knowledge and skills. Learn about the Learning Passport and flexible team training packages we offer. For organizations with complex, geographically distributed teams, we offer the Learning Passport. This flexible solution allows you to consolidate your training funds for up to 12 months, unlocking tremendous value, including up to 100% additional value on your funds. With the Learning Passport, you get unlimited access to over 4,000 authorized training courses. If your team has ongoing skilling requirements, this is an incredibly cost effective solution to meet your learning needs year round. Additionally, the Learning Passport also includes access to certifications, virtual events, blogs, webinars, and special promotional offers available on our website. It's your one stop solution for building a smarter workforce. And finally, be sure to check out Russell Sardar's latest book. As CEO of Netcom Learning, Russell has written a powerful framework to help organizations build smarter workforces, adapt to change, and drive growth in this rapidly evolving business environment. Don't miss out on this invaluable resource. Thank you for joining us today. With the right knowledge and skills, you can lead your organization to success and stay ahead in an AI driven world. Stay tuned for more updates and exciting learning opportunities from Netcom Learning. Together, we'll shape the future.
Thanks so much for guiding us through that information, Neha. And now we're going to go ahead and jump right into our question and answer session. If you haven't yet, it's not too late to pop your questions into the question panel. And as we start our Q&A sessions, we're also going to launch a quick poll that we want to invite you to participate in. Doing so helps us to know how we can better serve you by telling us who might be interested in more information or in taking some additional training. In addition, we have a lot more informative webinars coming up, so please go to netcomlearning.com/webinars in order to register. First question is, what does multimodal AI really mean for enterprises, and how is it different from traditional AI?
Well, the multi-module can process and generate the text, the audio, the images, the video, and code sensor data all together. So the multi-module being able to provide all of this together. So you used to have the software developments side, and they were building different things, whether they're patching something in-house or whatever the building is. Now that you can integrate code with all of this to add those nuances to provide outside aspects, but the old way was different departments did it. You have a meeting, you try to put all the with multimodal, all of this is being processed all at the same time, and you can do this all together. And the reason why this matters is, you got your document parsing, the image analysis. What about your call center transcripts? Think about that. What is being discussed between the customer and the call center employees or whatever you have there? You have all of that transcripts together. Your video review, there are different video reviews that are going forward. The chat bots, the data exfiltration. To give you an understanding, multi-model with let's say 911 services, taking a look at how this works together with different things and how some cities with new systems utilize this to help first responders to be much more accurate, much more better in saving lives. So to answer your question, it covers all of that aspects and gives it to you all together seamlessly as one processing processing tool that you'll use. Now, a single foundation model can handle the entire workflow. Next question.
Second question, what is the fundamental business value proposition of adopting multimodal AI?
Making sure that you have the data together in your budget. You need to know what putting all your data organization. Organize all of your data and the key fundamental, what do you want to do? What does your organization want to do? This is what it wants to do. Here's all the data that it needs for this, and to have that together to put that into the system so that the AI can go and construct this, make sure that it can run the workflow and compliance. Your budget, making sure that your budget meets everything that your data has. Sometimes we have the overzealous businesses that want to do this and that. Some things are practical, some things are 2 years in the future. You need to make sure how you have this set and that you have got someone who's received training to be able to put your data together to have a understanding of AI. Now, if we're talking real terms, there's a small business, and my recommendation for them was to get someone in their organization to get the training and then to go so that it can organize their data, what they needed, because as far as even a budget, you may be overspending for things that you don't need that the AI can remove. So training is a big thing because how are you going to put all this together if you don't know anything about it? And there's so many organizations and people that are just deficient on the knowledge of AI. So the training. I tried to put it in one single thing, but you have all that together. Some businesses need to move much smoother or much faster with their data aggregation. But now, just a second hand thinking about it, the training would have to be there to make sure you don't know what you don't know. So the training. Next question.
Next question. How does multimodal AI enhance customer experience?
Customer experience. Well, the customer experience, the multi-model will go and be able to have in the background examining how the competitors or how things are run, the most efficient ways to address the customer's needs. The multi-module will provide that and cover a ton and a large basis of things instead of having to go and look something up. Remember though, customer service, you got to go look this up. Bring out the big book and let's look through and how this works. And oh no, the real time. One of the things with customers is there are times they're calling on their breaks, they're calling on their lunch hours, or when that need is is happening, they want quick results. Multi-model gives gives that to the customers and making sure that it covers all of their bases with having their customer information on hand to be able to provide that the access and the tools that they have. For instance, someone's using a subscription model and they want to change something, but their subscription model already covers or has this, but they just haven't activated that. Well, the multi-module will have that set up and can bring that. Well, this already has all this and could show ways to save the customer money. Let's say the example was they in the old days they did that, they added that feature, and then later on found out that they didn't even need that. Now you gotta, what do? You tell the customer to go to this next one here. That makes that makes it look like the company doesn't know what they're doing or doesn't have their information all together. With this tool right here, it would already cover what the subscription and has set up for them, and also you can provide other different features. Now, with that being said, this also allow you and your company to upsell that customer with new products that they don't have and be able to give them real time reasoning why they need to upsell and to purchase this new product or service. All right, let's get to the next question.
Next question in the queue. What are the key use cases for multimodal AI in governance, risk, and compliance?
Well, one of the things is as laws have changed different things, we go through. You're always watching the news, but what do you know, and how does that affect your business? Well, utilizing this to be able to query and with quick time, with real time, with efficient and fast way to integrate all the new compliance um, policies that you have to put into place right away with your company. What I see a lot is small businesses think that they don't have to be in compliance, and then something happens and there's some fine that has to be paid, and then the company's out of production, or this happens, or in another case that comes to mind, a company was let go, and they picked up another company, or picked up another vendor. So knowing what is going on in real time, because compliance it can be fluid in this day and age. There were times where someone could do something, and for a decade, this is how it was done. But something can come into place now, and changes need to be made within this certain amount of time. Doing that through the manual way and having that set up when the AI, the multi-module, can have this integrated into it to make sure that the compliances are put in place and that they are adopted into your workflow becomes the strong suit. So that use case becomes right on the fly. You can use this and you can stay lock, right in step with whatever compliance or whatever changes have came into place. That is that is one of the greatest use cases that any business can use. This goes for a food truck, for instance. It was just some advice getting some food from the truck to add this, and they were able to utilize the multi-module process to understand and where they placed it, what they could do, and things that they didn't know that they could, and what they could and couldn't. And they ended up being able to put it at a place. I right outside of a government place and do this, and we're able to get a lot of customers by there, by utilizing that. So in that use case, even that food truck was able to enhance their business and grow, and now get last I spoke, get a second truck. Next question.
And the final question, how can multimodal AI make employee training more effective?
So the final question for the day, how can multimodal AI make employee training more effective?
The multi-model training provides those access. So as we were going through the webinar, there were where it says there are deficiencies that the employee has that you didn't know, probably when you hired them or they're going through or whatever the case is. It can go into the data of what they don't know and be able to enhance that and provide scenario basis that you wouldn't have to do all that brainstorming for. You would have that to provide that for the employee, and also be able to shorten the training time, because it can get right to the point and right to the specific aspects of what they need to know for that particular job that they're doing. And in most cases, they can get the training right there at their desk. The training can be also provided so that they can go through it on when they're off. Someone say, "Hey, I don't want to do this doing this. I want to do this when I'm off at home," and that case. So being able to structure the data, not even structure, you just put the information in there, and then it will put it together for you instead of you having to spend multiple hours. So that time is, you don't have to use all that time. It'll do all the heavy lifting for you. Put the training together, put it in the process as you want it, from a text-based, performance-based questions, curriculums, quizzes, final tests, to provide that and to give you the information that this person has received this person knows this. And as we were speaking prior about compliance, that you integrated the compliance into there, because you're here in this state, but they need training over in this state that has this regulation that is in place. The multi-module can provide that specifically based on where everyone is located. So logistically, just that right there, if your business spans across states or countries, that you can use that for this, and without having to have it, mm, make all these different charts and books and so forth. It can go through there, and it gives you the ability to have someone log in, look at the data, and also in the training, you can have it. Remember that the multi-module can look at an image, code, data, and then respond to it. So any of your employees can put that in there, and they can learn right there on the fly. Hey, is this right? Is this good? They can get an image from a customer, and they can put it in the system, and then they can get the information there and learn right there, learn as they're working, which is an amazing feature to have. Well, again, I want to thank you for joining this webinar, and be ready for part two of our webinar, and be ready to adopt this into your business and get your people trained. Thank you so much. My name is Ronald Clanton, and you have a wonderful day.
Once again, I want to remind you that as you leave this session today, you will be presented with a short survey. We would like to request for you to help us by taking a quick moment to participate in that survey. Your feedback really helps us understand your learning experience as we are constantly looking at how we can improve our future sessions. The survey answers are measured on a scale of 1 to 5, 5 representing outstanding and 1 representing poor. We want to thank all of you for joining us today, and if you do come up with any additional questions, feel free to send them to webinar@netcomlearning.com at any time. We hope that you found today's webinar informative, and we look forward to seeing you back here with us soon. Feel free to tell your friends and colleagues about our webinars and other courses. Have a great day, everyone.